Coming up in the program, we look at highlights from last weekend, which featured the Superstock Teams Invasion. We catch up with Nardine, who runs the Souvenir Hut here at the track. She's got some interesting Christmas ideas for you. We also catch up with Stu Russell, who is the manager of the Palmerston North Pumas. Well, we look ahead and see what's happening in that department, and we also catch up with highlights from last season's Stockcar Teams Invasion. Well, first up tonight, highlights from last weekend, which featured the Superstock Teams Invasion.
Fast start in the opening Midget heat saw 41p. Shane Dewar grabbed the early lead, but he immediately came under pressure from a charging 95k Mitch Fabish, who carved his way forward and attacked all race long. Fabish threw everything at Dewar, even clipping the wall late, but the 41p held firm to take the win. 74b Ben Hoos completed a strong drive to finish third. A dramatic second heat for the Midgets saw 68p Nick Davies make a brilliant start, only for the chaos to unfold behind him as 95k Mitch Fabish was launched into a big rollover after the 9k car was tagged. Incredibly, Fabish restarted and stormed back through the field, relentlessly chasing down Davies on the final lap. He pulled off a clean slider to snatch the win, completing one of the most remarkable comeback drives you'll see. Davies took second with 93p McGill and 41p Dewar following home. The midget feature belonged to 95k Mitch Fabish, who stormed around the outside of the green and instantly took control of the race. 41p Shane Dewar and 68p Nick Davies slotted in behind, while drama unfolded further back as 93p McGill clipped the wall, opening the door for 9k Cale Robbins and 74v Ben Hoos to move forward. From there, Fabish was in a class of his own, stretching the lead lap after lap and even putting the 12v of Brent Hoos a lap down. With the field well spread in the closing stages, Fabish remained flawless, taking the white flag with a commanding margin before cruising to an emphatic feature win in a time of 3 minutes 15 seconds. Sidecars fired into action with a flag start, and it was 13p Willie and Annalise Jensen who launched the best off the line, but the pace quickly went up another level as 57p James Gerard and Kieran Pitcher settled into blistering rhythm, clocking the fastest laps of the race and putting a clear gap on the field. 63p Nick Davies and Tiaratia Elliott held strong in second, while the Jensens fought hard but couldn't close in. Gerard and Pitcher dominated to take a convincing win in the opening sidecar heat. Heat 2 in a rapid launch from the 8p bike had the crowd watching early, but it was 89p Wayne and Max Lett who powered right around the outside to take control of race 2. From there, they checked out despite constant pressure from Rob Miller and Jackson Hannon on the 8, who searched high and low but couldn't find a way past. Further back, Wingnut and Sam McNaughton fought their way to secure third, but up front, Wayne and Max were flawless, hanging on for a well-earned victory in a hard-fought second heat. Sidecars returned for heat 3 with 57p James Gerard and Kieran Pitcher, again quickest out the blocks, charging straight into the clean air, while the Jensen pairing on the 47p tucked in behind. It was the other Jensen pairing, 13p Willie Jensen, looked threatening early with an outside move before mechanical trouble forced him to retire, and that left two bikes to complete the run, with Gerard and Pitcher maintaining full control to take another strong heat win ahead of Seb and Rob Jensen. Heat 4 saw another strong launch from the 8p of Rob Miller and Jackson Hannon, but it was 89p Wayne and Max Lett who powered through from the gate 2 to grab the lead into turn 1. Wingnut and Sam McNaughton once again settled into third, while 53p O'Connell and Hitchman held fourth. From there, the 89p bike simply had the pace advantage, consistently lapping quicker than Miller as the field spread out. Wayne and Max made it 2 wins from 2 heats, with the 8p second again. The Sidecar B final was dominated by 53p Dylan O'Connell and Kane Hitchman, who launched cleanly, hit the front early and never looked trouble. 13p Willie and Annalise Jensen held second, with 47p Rob and Seb Jensen in behind as the field quickly spread out through the tough conditions. O'Connell and Hitchman stayed smooth and in control of the checkered flag, wrapping up a convincing victory in the B final. The A final burst into life with 8p Rob Miller and Jackson Hannon again nailing the start and immediately controlling the race out front. 57p James Gerard and Kieran Pitcher held second early, while 89p Wayne and Max Lett recovered from a slow launch and began charging forward. The mechanical problem ended Wingnut's run on the 5p bike. Miller and Hannon drove a clean race to take the win, while Wayne and Max pushed the last corner dive to steal the second from the 57p pairing who crossed in third. Stock cars exploded into action in heat 1 with drama from the green as the 34p car was spun to the back in a chain reaction incident. Out front, 86p Beau McLeod took charge, while 89w Ella Robertson carved her way forward, emerging as the fastest car on track and closing the gap lap by lap. 48p Josh Mulcahy, 172p Daniel Burmeister also moved in contention as the top group formed, but McLeod held steady under pressure, taking the win ahead of Ella, with Mulcahy, Burmeister, Denham Denham and Ricky Lee completing the top 6. Heat 2 fired up with 76p Cameron Renwick jumping straight into the lead as trouble kicked off behind, with 89W Ella Robertson shuffled in the pack and 667p Hamish McLeod turned early, but the real storyline was 86p Beau McLeod treated the race like a team's warm-up, repeatedly attacking the 376p Dylan Walker and putting him hard into the wall. Renwick stayed cool as incidents thinned the field, while 31p Toby Matthews held second. Renwick controlled the run home, winning ahead of Matthews, with the 668p being driven by Jaden Ty in this race, grabbing third after 48p Josh Mulcahy was spun on the line. The stock car feature erupted from the green as 89W Ella Robertson stormed into the lead, while Uncle in 668p Paul Gaskin immediately went to work blocking for her. Early chaos saw cars spinning across the track, but Ella kept her line as the 172p Daniel Burmeister emerged as the main chaser. Gaskin repeatedly tried to protect the lead, even slotting in front of Burmeister, but a spin of his own opened the door for the 37S Shane Denham, who jumped into second. Despite traffic, pressure and attacks unfolding behind her, Ella controlled the entire race, and with a little help from Uncle PG taking a memorable flag-to-flag feature win. Denham finished second and Burmeister home in third. Superstocks opened with a dominant run from 94p William Humphreys, who blasted away at the green and quickly built a commanding lead. Behind him, 14R AJ Axtons and 10G Peter Rees locked into a fierce battle for second, with Rees eventually slipping up the inside as the laps wound down. 24p Stu Sowry and Regan Penn in the 253G made strong early moves, but no one could catch Humphreys, who cruised home for a win ahead of Rees. Axtons. Superstocks Heat 2 quickly became a battle up front as 10G Peter Rees forced his way into the lead, trading early moves with 7p Shane Melsop before breaking clear. Pressure then came from 38V Zane Dykstra, who shadowed Rees lap after lap and looked for a way up the inside but couldn't quite make it stick, but Rees controlled the race to the finish, taking the win ahead of Dykstra, with Melsop home in third. Dash for Cash blasted off, and with the team's cars added, 10G Peter Rees launched perfectly from pole, holding the lead as 7p Shane Melsop attacked early and 25S Wayne Moss settled into third. Mid-pack chaos saw 5G Prentice spin and several Wanganui cars tangled, but Peter Rees stayed composed out front. The charge then came from the Rees dynasty itself, 126G Asher Rees powering forward, while 127G Ethan Rees ran interference ahead of his father. A late restart set up a dramatic finish, with Asher sliding underneath Pete to take the lead. Pete threw a huge last corner dive, but tapped the wall instead, allowing 126G Asher Rees to claim back-to-back Dash for Cash victories, with Peter home in second, 38V Zane Dykstra in third. Ministocks are back with their three-quarter format. 77p Will Carroll Holland and 66p Blake Preston battling early in Heat 1, while 139p Isabel Munn and 64p Elizabeth Penn settled into the top group. The race quickly became a two-car showdown though, as 52p Boston Joblin pressured Carroll Holland lap after lap, but on the final lap Carroll Holland broke clear, stretching a decisive gap to take the win ahead of Joblin. Youth Ministocks Heat 2 erupted immediately as 81p Dominic Nicol, 53v Paige Smith and 65p Riley Rose Barnett all fought for position into turn 1, but it was 21p Mason Taylor who emerged from the chaos to take the lead, and Taylor quickly broke away, while 8S Lucy Joblin and 8p Hayden Arnold charged through the field. 294p Charlie Newman became the fastest car on track as he climbed into second, but out front Mason Taylor stayed composed, navigated through lap traffic to take a dominant victory ahead of Newman, Smith and Arnold. Youth Ministock Heat 3 turned into a thriller, with 48p Keaton Herco hitting the front early after an aggressive start from 47p Ollie Hopkirk. It wasn't too long before the 21p Mason Taylor joined the party, working his way into contention as the leaders broke clear of the pack. Tight three-way scrap at the front finally swung Taylor's way as he slipped past Herco late to grab the win. At the flag, it was 21p Mason Taylor and 48p Keaton Herco, 47p Ollie Hopkirk. Youth Ministocks Heat 4 began with 18p Aidan Waihi jumping straight into the lead ahead of 98v Jackie Linklater, while early pressure came from 294p Charlie Newman and 53p Callum Tootle. Newman kept the pressure on and eventually grabbed the lead, but a late restart set up a final showdown. Waihi pounced immediately, getting the jump and reclaiming the lead. At the flag, it was 18p Aidan Waihi ahead of 294p Charlie Newman, 52p Boston Joblin. Opening teams clash between the Palmerston North Panthers and the Manawatu Mustangs set the tone for a fierce night of racing. From the green 85p, Justin Roberts launched strongly for the Mustangs, but 52p Scott Joblin wasted no time applying pressure for the Panthers. 156p Trent James dived inside to join the early attack, and the Panthers threatened to control the race until James was spun, allowing the Mustangs runners led by Roberts and 41p Scott Williams to take track position. Contact escalated quickly. 29p Matt DeManza delivered a heavy shot to 34p Rebecca Barr, pushing into the wall. Momentum shifted when 79p Kyle Rowe began dismantling the Mustang structure, stopping cars, delaying their runners and opening space for Panthers' offence. Barr then broke free into the lead as Rowe picked up Williams. A wild exchange with 4 laps to go saw Rowe put Roberts up the wall, giving Barr the clear air she needed. At the flag, 34p Rebecca Barr powered home to secure the race win for the Panthers. 41p Scott Williams held on for second for the Mustangs, while 52p Scott Joblin dragged the damaged Panthers car across the line for third. Points went decisively the Panthers' way, scoring 135 to the Mustangs 60, sealing a strong opening result. The second team's race of the night saw the Gisborne Giants take on the Wanganui Warriors, and it erupted from green. 5G Josh Prentice fired straight into the 26V Kayla Mooney, putting the Warriors car hard into the wall, while 38V Zane Dykstra also took damage early. That opened the lane for 15V Ryan Marshall, who shot through to take the initial lead. But the Giants weren't done. 235G Regan Penn made a brilliant outside move, sweeping past Marshall and the recovering 127G Ethan Rees to grab control of the race. The Warriors were immediately slowed by Ethan Rees, who became a rolling roadblock the Giants used perfectly. Marshall and Dykstra tried repeatedly to get past him. 235G Regan Penn powered home to secure victory for the Gisborne Giants. 85V Brad Eulenberg crossed second for the Warriors, with 15V Ryan Marshall third. It was the Giants who claimed the points 110 to the Warriors 85. Third team's race of the night saw the Manawatu Mustangs clash with the Gisborne Giants, and it turned into a one-sided showcase almost from the drop of the green. Off pole 85p Justin Roberts tried to control the early running for the Mustangs, but 127G Ethan Rees blasted straight through the middle, taking the lead as 5G Josh Prentice swept around the outside to join him. 41p Scott Williams slotted into third, doing everything he could to contain 7G Sean Gooch, but the Giants already had momentum. Then the biggest moment of the race unfolded. 127G Ethan Rees drilled 97p Byron Rowlands, sending the Mustang hard into the wall before Prentice finished the job with a spectacular rollover shot. Rowlands needed the tow and the Mustangs were suddenly down to 3 cars. With 669p Brendan Tye out on the infield, the Mustangs were left without blockers, and the Giants used that advantage perfectly. Ethan and McGee controlled the front, Prentice sat in the blocking lane ready for everything, and Gooch applied constant pressure to Williams, keeping the Mustang disorganised. But with only Roberts and Williams still circulating, both 2 laps down, the Mustangs had no way to regain structure. Ethan Rees and McGee calmly worked past traffic, and a final block attempt from Prentice secured the inside line for the Giants runners. The white flag flew with the Giants in formation, and they delivered the result. 127G Ethan Rees came around again to take the win from 96G Brad McGee in second. 85p Justin Roberts salvaged third for the Mustangs. The Mustangs scored just 25 points, ending their night on 85, and the Giants picked up a huge 170, finishing the round robin on a perfect 280 points. The final round robin clash saw the Wanganui Warriors take on the Palmerston North Panthers, and it erupted the moment the green dropped. 81V Max Holloway was slow away and immediately targeted by 156p Trent James, while 34p Rebecca Barr leaned hard on 15V Ryan Marshall. Up front, 94V Matt Buckley tried to control early for Wanganui, but 85V Brad Eulenberg blasted past to put the Warriors in a strong 1-2. The Panthers fought back quickly. 52p Scott Joblin lined up Buckley for a huge shot, but had to pull out at the last moment to avoid collecting teammate Barr. Moments later, Buckley slowed, allowing Barr into second and setting up a 3-car scrap with James and Joblin boxed in beside Marshall. As the race settled, 85V Eulenberg continued to lead until a flat right front tyre crippled the Warriors, forcing him into defensive mode. Barr surged through into the lead, James into second, and the Panthers suddenly held control. The final laps were chaos. James pushed hard, Barr threaded through congestion, and Joblin attacked everything in front of him. And at the checkered flag, 34p Rebecca Barr took the win for the Panthers, 94V Matt Buckley second, 156p Trent James third. The Warriors scored 50 points, finishing the night on 135, while the Panthers added 145, bringing their total to 280, tied with the Giants to head into the final. A huge crowd stayed glued to their seats as the Palmerston North Panthers and Gisborne Giants rolled out for the 12-lap final at the Robertson Prestige International Speedway. From the green, Ethan and Asher Rees immediately attacked, with Asher pushing James, while Ethan slid into early traffic. The opening laps were chaos. Barr tried to run outside Gauntlet, but was caught and fed into the wall by 5G Apprentice, and 156p James soon pulled infield with mechanical issues, leaving the Panthers down a runner just minutes into the final. That opened the door for the Giants. Asher Rees broke into the race lead, McGee slipped into second, and Ethan Rees sat perfectly in behind them. Joblin tried to respond, spinning Asher once, then muscling McGee, but the retaliation was brutal. Barr was fired into the wall hard by Prentice, who roll cage being exposed, forcing a red and removing her from the race, and the Panthers were suddenly down to 2 cars with only 52p Joblin and 79p Rowe remaining. And when racing resumed, McGee grabbed the lead, Rowe took blocking duties, and Asher slotted into second. The Panthers' hopes now rested on Rowe causing maximum disruption and Joblin trying to free himself past Ethan. But the Giants were ruthless. Prentice repeatedly hammered hammered road, pushing him to the wall while Ethan smothered Joblin and denied every passing attempt. Asher braked into turn 4, spun deliberately to avoid Rowe's last shot and was clipped by McGee for good measure as he straightened up and crossed the line. The Gisborne Giants take the Teams Extravaganza final with a dominant 1-2 finish. Asher Reeves first, Brad McGee second, and Ethan Reeves locking down the result.
Well, it's that time of the year again when we start thinking about Christmas and Christmas gifts. Well, the place to come is the Souvenir Hut at the Robertson Prestige International Speedway, and the friendly face you see behind the counter, resplendent in her Christmas attire, is Nardine. Nardine, is this a busier time than normal?
Sometimes it can be. The beginning of the season's busy for some people because they want to get in early,
Yep.
believe it or not. And then around this time, yeah, it is really busy where people want to get in and just buy what they can before it all goes. We've had some people from Australia coming in and buying some stuff to take back to Australia for Christmas for their Christmas freaks over there that are Speedway mad. And I've actually had a couple come in last week and buy some stuff as well. Just some little gifts that they can stack away in the stockings for their loved ones that are overseas.
Well, what are the top 2 or 3 items that will be your best sellers?
The best sellers, I would say, would have to be these little cars here for $8.50. They are nicely little wooden made cars, and a lot of them have been getting painted into the people's numbers of the stock car freaks that they like. So these are made by a gentleman in Wellington. And he does a lot of cars, and we're on to about our second lot here at the moment. And these moulded cars here, these are just great. These are for the lovers of Speedway. You can dress them up, dress them down.
You've got a board game as well at the back?
Yeah, we do. We've got snakes and ladders in the board game, and on the back it comes with a dice and some little counters for you to go with. And then, of course, it's got the number 1 tank there, which is really great. We also have the tank cup, which is also popular every year. That's got Bruce Robertson on there. And we've also got the signed tin poster of Bruce Robertson, which is actually signed, and they are actually a collector's item, if I must say so myself. We've also got the tank T-shirts. So this one here, we sell them. We can sell them actually as a whole package as a gift. The tank poster is usually $60. The T-shirt's about $30. And then the cup's 10, but hey, we can do a bargain. We can do you a deal if you want all 3. And we also do have posters as well, which I've actually framed one. And people say, wow, where did you get that? And I say, look, I've just went and bought the frame from Kmart. Posters are $10. So, hey, you've got the whole set, so you've got 4. And we can do you a deal for 4.
So the T-shirts, even for the little ones?
The little ones, yes, these are so cute. These ones here are only $10 because they were from our Sidecar champs when we had those. And I mean, these are going out the door. This one's absolutely beautiful. I love this one. And this one here came from America. So, I mean, if you want one like this for your little one, this is the only one we've got left now, so that's your last one. So, I mean, these just flew out the door. And last but not least, we have one for the ladies. Believe it or not, this is beautiful. I've got one put aside, hoping that Santa may buy me one. It's
nice.
Johnny Shots, yeah. There was only a few in the ladies' sizes, and I have just think that this is the most beautiful T-shirt that we've actually got for a woman for the season. I think it's just the beautiful cut. I've tried one on, and it's like, yeah, hopefully Santa will come and get me a T-shirt.
Is there any time you've been absolutely stumped to find something for someone? Or it's been very, very difficult?
Well, yes, I have sometimes, but then I've also pointed them to sprint cars. Whatever you want, I try and sell. I try not to let anything stump me, and if it does, I will then ask Bruce or Puck, can we get this for for a certain person? Because that's what they want, like blankets. People ask for blankets. We got them in. We're on our 3rd lot already.
I see kids walking around with flags and things. They must be a pretty consistent seller.
Oh, my God. The flags are just, we sold out so many times. I'm on to my 2nd lot for the season already with the flags. I'm not just selling 1 or 2. I'm selling like a family, like 6. That's the most I've sold to one family. All the kids wanted one.
You're open before the meeting starts?
Yes, I am. I usually try and open at least 2 to 3 hours before, so I can get things ready. And then people that are here early, they can come and buy what they want. Or if they just want a program or just want to come and have a look.
Well, Nardine, lovely to talk to you as always. You've got a great amount of stock. As you say, you really don't get stumped. So anybody that needs an idea, talk to Nardine and she'll tell you exactly what her recommendation is. Nardine at the Souvenir Hut right here at the Robertson Prestige International Speedway. Big weekend this weekend. It is the Stockcar Invasion. From Superstocks to Stockcars this time. Half a dozen teams coming to town. 2 Palmerston North teams. There's the Pumas and also the Colts. Well, the manager of the Pumas is, of course, Stu Russell. Stu, enough people put their hands up for teams racing this year?
Yeah, we had a great turnout at the start of the year. We had something like 25 drivers. Unfortunately, the attrition rate around Palm is pretty high at the moment. And, even on a normal race night, you often see the infield quite full in heat racing on a club night, but the 12 drivers that we've got amongst the two teams are pretty much all that was available, unfortunately.
How did you select the Pumas team firstly?
Yeah, so this year, obviously, we did go with last year's form. We've come off the last event of last season, we've come off a win at the Peterberry Teams Champs over in Hawke's Bay. So, we had to reward those guys. And also at the same time, we wanted to bring back the likes of Nardine Hall, who sat that event out. He had a broken foot at the time, but he did do Rotorua. So it was only natural that he was going to come back at some point. And then, then we looked through the list of who else was available. We looked at who was in the Colts. We looked at the list of who was obviously interested before withdrawing. And we had Tyler Walker join the track as well, and Caleb Coxhead and Paul Gaskins. So, guys that are completely new to our setup in Palmerston North, not just the teams, but the whole environment. So we had to look at how they fit in and everything. A lot of factors go in. Plus, obviously, we want to see how this year's performance has been going.
Let's look at the Pumas. Who have you got?
Yeah, so we've kicked off with 31P Jared Davis. He had a great form last year at the Peterberries, and 48P Josh Mulcahy. He's been, floating around the last season, sort of chipping away at becoming a full-time Puma, and has again stood out at the Peterberries, and so those two boys are in the mix. 135P Nardine Hall comes back into it after missing the Peterberries, but had a great run at Rotorua. 223P Robertson. 2J Petrol has just built a fantastic car, and Rightier is just driving it fantastically and does a great job of everything we ask of him. Brendan Ty in the 669P, that guy is like one of the greatest teams racers in the country. He just knows how to read a race, and it's fair to say, as much as it's a team effort, he won us a very vital race in Rotorua last year against Auckland on the last corner of the last lap. And so our sixth and final driver, I've missed one in the order on purpose, we'd like to welcome 133P Tyler Walker into the Palmerston North Pumas mix. So former Stratford Stormer, he's won teams champs twice before, he's raced at Superstock teams, and we want to run him this weekend and see how he fits into our environment.
Well, it's pretty good balance for a side.
Yeah, you want to make sure that everyone can do a bit of everything, and I feel like with the 6 guys that we've got, everyone can do everything. Especially the likes like Josh Mulcahy, he just blew us away last year. He was asked to run in one race, ended up a blocker, and he was asked to block in another race and he ended up winning the final. So we know that everyone can do everything, but that's not all about it. We want to know that the team gels together, and these guys have been together coming on 3 years. Everyone sort of would say, well, Tyler's come straight in and he's straight away a Puma, but it's not about that. It's about, we want to use him as early as possible to see how he fits into the environment. Because it's not all about on track, it's all about off track as well. And, so there's no point waiting till January, February to use Tyler amongst our mix, and then it doesn't work out. We might as well use them now and find out
for sure what you're going to do.
Before we persevere going forward.
Okay, Colts?
Colts, yeah, that's a cool-looking team. We've got the 11P Brendan Rees, we've got the 16P Wayne Verco, 39p Graham Munn in the tank, 77p Curtis Tenetti, 86p Bo McLeod, and we've got the 668p, which is Paul Gaskin.
That's not a bad team.
I never thought I'd see Gaskin
Palmerston
contract to Palmerston North.
I know,
and I know that we've had great banter between me and PG and Richie and Belinda and the family. They're an awesome family, and it's cool to have PG here in Palmy, just loving Speedway and loving teams racing, and he'll be a great mix, great addition to that mix.
The out-of-towners that are coming.
Yep.
Who do you think? I mean, they're all going to be difficult. They're all going to be tough on the night.
Yeah. Well, Wellington's a really young team, and we saw how they can perform at Rotorua at the New Zealand Champs. That still haunts us today. You know, that young team beat us in the quarterfinal, and then it flipped on its head, and they had a problem at Peter Barry's, but you can't write any team off. Wanganui, they've won this event 3 or 4 years in a row.
Yeah, that's right.
So whatever
Good
team
record.
they turn up with, they seem to rise for this event.
Yeah.
So it's going to be great. You add in the other teams that are turning up, and it will be a cool night. It's one that we haven't won in a long time.
Do you think it'll be pretty much a Puma side that's running this weekend? Or do you think it might be a mixture of the Colts and Pumas?
Oh, we've still got Hamish McLeod. That's not in either of the two teams this weekend. Wayne Verco's ran for us before, and he done a great job in Huntley. So it's not signed and sealed. There's only 6 spots to go to Rotorua, and there's Curtis Tenetti. He raced at Rotorua last year for Otago for the Coyotes. Cromwell, I think it was, for the Coyotes. Like already now, counting in towards the event this week, we've got ideas of what we want to do and what we want to try out, because as much and all as the goal is to win, we still need to use this event and future events leading into Rotorua to try things out. So, there may be a change up of guys that don't normally block end up blocking. We saw that last year. Kyle Rowe was on the pole line, and we made him get on the pole line for that reason, because he never used to do it. There's ideas. We've got ideas that we want to run, and we'll probably run them at some point over the weekend. But come Rotorua, obviously, we'll go with Plan A.
Well, mate, I wish you all the very, very best to the Pumas and also the Colts, of course. Whichever team comes out at the end of the weekend, they certainly would have been through the mill, and hopefully you'll get the information you need and the experience that you need for the big dance in Rotorua.
Yeah, hopefully we can get a couple of Palmy teams in the final. I know, our boys are chomping at the bit, and they're riding that way from the Peter Barry's, but they also know that this is a whole new season, a whole new ball game, and I just hope the Colts as well can have a great weekend and put some pressure as well on the Pumas lads.
Yep, we can't wait. Well, Stu Russell, manager of the Pumas. Are the Colts or Pumas or both going to be on the podium at the end of the weekend? Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. Let's turn our mind back to highlights of last season's Stockcar Teams Invasion. We are racing the first teams event of the night, and the 96 is away first, 87 right up behind him. 96R, your lead car.
And he's got the attention now of a couple of Rotorua cars, and nearly squeezed up the wall.
Behind him, squeezing the wall. There's one over. 98, I think it was, wasn't it? Last lap.
164. Car nearly got Henderson. Can he take him out? No, Henderson's got enough speed to drive away from that attack down there in turns 3 and 4. He's going to come home in 3rd place.
So we have greens, they're away.
Well, 2 of them are away. Mulcahy and Lamb. The rest of them are just parked there. 33 Tyler Walker's going to sit back here and make a nuisance of himself.
Tyler Lamb finding a way through. He's got through. Whoops. He thought he got through.
Thought he got through. Graham Munn's got him.
He's away though.
He can't finish him off though.
Tyler Lamb, number 992.
Yes, it's 48 Josh Mulcahy. He's had a fairly solid whack in that corner.
Yep, that's right. 992.
Mulcahy's actually doing a fine job there, holding Walker off.
And then suddenly 992 Taylor Lamb decides to have a bit of a play himself. He's trying to find a way through.
Oh, and he's managed to spin himself. Well, that was unnecessary.
And the lead's changed.
White flag. Lamb's back in the lead. Barker in second. But it's Mulcahy. Oh, gets absolutely dealt to by Barker. Oh, and almost rolled by Lamb. But I think Hayden Barker has come clear of this. He's going to come down, pick up the checkered flag.
We go look at the Greens. We are away. First to enter the corner is the 15 of Wanganui. Then the 2 and 10.
Alan Sturzacre. It's 2NZ Logan Peak coming round. He's going to run into a mobile block now.
Logan Pete is
Here comes Sturzacre. Right on the back bumper of Pete. So it's Auckland 1, Wanganui 2. Oh, Pete slowed, went into the wall. Sturzacre just gave him a bit of a serve on the way past. Oh, Pete goes in for a big hit and nothing happens. So this time it's definitely Sturzacre from Lonergan. Oh, we've got one over there. That's the 95A. Gary Lonergan was in second place. Sturzacre's just got to get round turn 4. Here he comes. Terrific drive from Callum Sturzacre in the 15V car.
Greens. Half of them still back. Daniel Vermister in the 172. He's taken a big shot out to the front now. That's Humble. Whoops, spot himself out. Oh, 1NZ gave him the right clout.
The Clinton Cheatham's trying to slow the progress now of Ty. But nobody's getting to Vermister. Oh, he nearly got nailed going into the front straight there. William White waited back, but Vermister came through.
16's out in front too.
Oh, 77 just gives one of the Rotorua cars on the line a real slip. He ends up in the wall himself. No, it's not the way. It's actually Keegan Orr, 735, who's parked.
Oh, one on turn 4, up the wall. He's over. We're back to Morley, Johnny Morley in the 98R. Mulcahy in the 48P.
96 Courtney Young just spun. Oh, here's someone having a go at Mulcahy's up the wall. And if Palmerston, if the Colts, no, he's back down. So white flag for Dion Henderson or 226 Metcalf. He got fired into the wall there, but he's away again. So Henderson comes across, takes the checkered flag. So 96 McGee is first away. McGee's got, he's could be crucial. McGee gets spun, so he's out of the lead. And the white flag's out on the last lap. Out of turn 4. And he will take the checkered flag. But who's going to come home in second and third? Oh, big shunt down the south end. And they're away. Very slowly away.
Some of them are away.
Sturzacre's away, but he's got company. Here comes Humble round the outside.
I think Humble's trying to work out which way to attack.
Yeah, and through it all, there goes Lockett.
Exactly.
Just powers around the outside and into the lead.
Sturzacre's still the lead car.
Sturzacre's still the lead car. Black's having a go with Clinton Cheatham as Sturzacre takes the white flag.
Racing single file now. Let's have a look as they come over the start finish line. The flag. Sturzacre, Lockett, Humble.
So away they go. Big surprise here with Auckland leaving 2NZ Logan Peake and 95 Gary Lonergan out.
Left that run a bit late.
Yes, just didn't quite get his timing right there. Oh, hard impact on. That's
45.
Ty, though, he's getting now chased by Corey Baker. Baker's way down on laps, but Ty stops and Baker goes straight past him. Ty puts the foot down again.
Oh, he's got a foot right.
Oh, Ty has a big shot there at the 89 car. They both spin. 89's the first one away, though. Kyle Rose he's just having an armchair ride at the back of the field. Oh, big shunt there. As Ty gets pushed up the wall, then he gives a massive shunt into the back end of Baker and turns him around.
Got the greens.
Got the greens, but certainly not an explosion of power off the line.
Everyone's on the picks. Will have to be, wouldn't it?
Would have to be. Oh, who's the first one through is the 669 and then 1NZ.
Robertson sitting in third place at the moment. So Pumas are 1, 2 and 4.
No points in this race, of course.
No, it's first
The
up.
only thing that matters is first across the line. Oh, Hamish McLeod might have just had a fun moment there. Oh, look, Bailey Chapman's got Kyle Rowe and slowed him. But I don't think Rowe is really closing Steersacre down enough. There's only going to be 3 laps to go this time around. Oh, Nathan Black does a great job there taking Robertson to the infield, giving Steersacre clear track. Steersacre's having to run wide here to come past Robinson. Takes the white flag on, he makes it past. Rowe's able to close up a wee bit, but Steersacre's got the foot down again. Here comes Steersacre down to, oh, they've gone red. Saw him in the pits afterwards and he was gutted, but Callum Steersacre takes the win for the Wanganui Vulcans. 33, Tyler Walker's first away.
37 sitting at second place, that's Bruce Shingleton. 7:35 coming under a little bit of action. He's over. Well, he's up the wall. Is he going to be over? They're going to hold him. I think he probably will be. Oh,
Taylor Lamp, but also Dion Henderson's got involved in that and he's lost a couple of places on. He pulls Lamp back down off the wall. Oh, now I've seen everything. It's certainly looking good for Stratford at the moment. Oh, and Coxhead delivers another blow, spins Shingleton. Lamp this time, he's through into the lead. There's only one to go, the white flag's out. Here they come through turn 4. And it's going to be 992S. Taylor Lamp takes the win, takes the championship.
Welcome back to the Robertson Prestige International Speedway as we check on week 7 of the Travel Manager's season points chase. Last weekend, the classes running for points were stock cars, midgets, sidecars and youth mini stocks. First up in the stock cars, 172p Daniel Burmeister now leads the way on 77 points. 48p Josh Mulcahy is second on 60 points and 126G Asher Rees holds third place on 31 points. Over to the midgets at 95k, Mitch Fabish sits on top of the table with 43 points. 41p Shane Dewar is next up on 34 points, and 74v Ben Hughes rounds out the top 3 on 19 points. In the sidecars, 89p Wayne and Max Lett have moved out to 56 points. 13p Willie Jensen and Kieran Pilcher sit second on 35 points, and 8p Rob Miller and Jackson Hannon sit behind on 32 points. In the youth mini stocks, the next generation continues to impress. 294 Charlie Newman leads the standings on 87 points. 52p Boston Joblin is chasing hard with 78 points, and 77p Will Carroll Holland holds third on 69 points. Well, that's your Week 7 update of the Travel Manager's season points chase from the Robertson Prestige International Speedway. We'll be back next week to see who can keep the momentum going and who's closing in on the leaders in the season as the season rolls on. Until then, keep it fast, fair and right on the clay.